In a sunbaked corner of ancient Greece, nestled between crumbling hills and whispering olive groves, lived a young man named Dorian. He wasn't born to wealth, nor marked by fortune. His father, a stonemason, died when Dorian was 10. His mother followed a winter later. From then on, the world became a quiet teacher, harsh but honest. He worked the fields before dawn, hauling buckets of water and breaking soil with bare hands. While other boys played, Dorian studied the faces of old men and the strength behind their silence. At night he would huddle near a fire with a tattered scroll, Epictetus, handed down by his father. Some things are in our control, others are not. That sentence echoed in his mind, night after night. He learned that suffering was not his enemy, but his trainer. That desire led to disappointment, and peace came from restraint. He taught himself not to flinch at insult, not to react in anger, not to cling to what was temporary. Dorian didn't seek glory or praise. He sought inner armor, the kind no war or famine could strip away. Then came the drought. The skies stopped weeping, crops turned to dust, wells ran dry, and fear took root in men's hearts. First came desperation, then came the turning. Friends became strangers, neighbors stole from each other, families fled seeking easier soil. Even Dorian's cousin, once filled with honor, took up a blade and sold his loyalty to a warlord in the north. Dorian stayed. Every day he rationed crumbs of bread, carried water from distant springs, and tended to what little remained of the dying grove. But even the strongest pillars crack. One night, after returning from a 12-mile walk, he found his hut broken into. His grain gone, his tools stolen, the firewood he had gathered for winter scattered like bones. He sat in the ashes of his home, silent, hollow. In that moment, the Stoic fire dimmed. "What is the use of virtue," he whispered, "if fate spits in its face?" But then, through the silence, came a memory. His father's voice, calm and weathered. "Endure hardship, not because the world will reward you, but because your soul deserves the discipline." Dorian looked up at the stars. They still burned, unaffected. They did not rage against the wind or beg for mercy. They simply were, unchanging, unmoved. And so he rose. He didn't rebuild his hut. He built a shelter for others. He didn't search for vengeance. He searched for those more broken than himself. He taught villagers how to conserve, how to dig deep wells, how to wait, not passively, but with purpose. He became a quiet fire in the night. Resolution, the return of the rain. Weeks turned to months, and one morning, without warning, the sky opened. Rain fell, the earth drank, and life returned, but the village had changed. The people didn't speak of survival. They spoke of Dorian, not as a hero, but as a reminder that willpower is not loud, it is not showy, it is steady, it is enduring, and when all else fails, it remains. Travelers came, hearing of the young man who held a village together with nothing but quiet resolve. They asked, "How did you not give up?" He would smile, not with pride, but with peace, and say, "I did give up 100 times, but each time I remembered, I am not what happens to me. I am what I choose to become in response." This is the essence of Stoicism. Not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. Not the denial of suffering, but the transformation of it into strength. Life will test you, strip you, leave you bleeding and alone, but if you hold the line, if you choose to stand when there is no applause, to walk when there is no path, you will become unbreakable, not because you avoided pain, but because you made peace with it. Your will is your fire. Feed it with discipline. Guard it with silence. And let it light the way through storm, through drought, through despair. Because in the end, the world does not need more noise. It needs more fires that refuse to go out.